Okay, well, part of what I like to do is I really into art history and like to do homages to famous artists. And this piece is an homage to Marcel Duchamp because in 1917 there was a modern art show in New York, and
this is the Dada'ist.
Yeah, and basically $5 entry fee per person and $1 per item, and they said they would show anything. And he also felt the Americans took their art too seriously. So he went down and literally bought a urinal, created a pseudonym of a guy named Armut, and paid, submitted it with the fee and stuff, and it actually got displayed. But what it did is it sparked, a discussion of what is art. Because actually, the original urinal, people felt it was rather beautiful, the way it was constructed and stuff. He had turned it 90 degrees though. But again,
Was his intent to ridicule modern art or
no,
to critique it?
No, I think it was, he wanted to create also a discussion of what is art. But also too, because like I said, he felt the Americans took their stuff so seriously. So part of it was, I would say, kind of a jab, but I don't think, not a real malintent or whatever, But he definitely started a discussion on it, and it's...
So he in particular with that Dadaist movement really liberated art from kind of that seriousness.
Oh yeah. And also too, he made objects called ready-mades, man-ray did too, but I think one of his philosophies is there's so much in the world you don't need to create, you can just pick and choose and create new stuff from it, which is what he did. He would take various stuff.
Well, isn't that kind of what you're about, assemblage?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And this, like I said, this is an homage to him, but I do a lot of original stuff, I do like I said, I really like art history. I think there's so many fascinating, interesting stories in it, and it's, I guess, part of education. I've been impressed. There are several people I've met here. They knew what this was all about, and they got a kick out of it. They got into it.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, this is actually another somewhat of an homage piece. It's entitled "The Red Christ," but Paul Gauguin has a very famous painting called "The Yellow Christ," and basically I just imitated this image and just created some almost cartoon characters, and just to make it my own, and yet just to, again, kind of an homage to Gauguin. I really like his work and stuff, so I didn't really want to reproduce a piece. I just sort of, an incorporation, that type of thing.
Is that style Gauguin's style, or
well,
variation of it?
This is here, and you could argue, that's a combination of his and mine. It's just, it's just I was inspired by that,
Yeah.
And I know people who know Gauguin will recognize that image, but...
Well, I think for the colors, for one thing.
Yeah.
And that frame is pretty unique.
I have this thing where I really I consider, for me, most of my pieces, the frame is part of the art. Yeah. Because there have been a lot of artists who make their own frames and stuff. Just like with this other piece, it's part of it. You're not going to take this out of the frame necessarily and put another frame on it, just because that's really part of it. I do the painting and the treatment and selecting used frames. Mostly I like to find frames at thrift stores and antique stores and stuff, To me, it's part of the creative process. I really enjoy it,
Let's talk about this third piece that you have on exhibit here, MOAH.
Okay, this is basically, for me, pretty much of an abstract where I literally was flinging paint onto paper with the intent to see what image I might see in it. I like to
see what sticks.
Yeah, because I ever since I'm a kid, I would do that with drawing. I'd close my eyes and do stuff and immediately start picking out images. And with this, basically, again, this was flinging, and manipulation by me is really the eye sockets and the shadow. But I saw the face immediately. So again, it's just kind of.
So there's a lot of serendipity in the process. It could be anything.
It's also the creative challenge of sort of finding or seeing what you see in there. That's another thing with the assemblage pieces I have. I have containers of all kind of stuff. I just find stuff and collect it, and I'll walk by it, and then one day it clicks what it should be or what to make out of it. A lot of times when I buy stuff, just thrift stores and antique stores and stuff, I have no idea what I'm going to do to it. All I know is it's interesting to me.
So that kind of acquiring those materials is part of the process for you.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And then the challenge or the inspiration is when the idea just comes and you're, oh, okay, that's what that could be. you know, so it's really, it's definitely interconnected, you know. I also do, you know, I mean, like artwork like this, it's, you know, traditionally sitting down and drawing or painting, you know, but I really do enjoy the assemblage stuff just because I can be really challenged by it. I've got things that I've had for years that eventually I'll use, you know. And again, with the frame, to me the frame is kind of it's part of the piece as well. You know, it's an antique frame that I painted and gave a treatment to. So I like the challenge, you know.
Thank you so much, Patrick.
All right, thank you.